Hi everybody, I'm gonna try to talk a little bit louder. I have my heater going in the back, and it's pretty loud. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to talk as loud as I can. Hopefully it's not like so overwhelming. Like, the only problem is that I can't really work in here and do my pottery without having it. It's like 30 degrees right now, and I got accepted into another store, found out that from here has sold all of my bump cups and stuff, and I don't have any for my website either. So I need to make bump cups and stuff to restock stores I'm in and things like that. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. And I had some like stuff come up all of a sudden, like mandatory meetings, things like that, to make it like this is the only day I really have to get any throwing done. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. I apologize for the heater, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So I have my water here, and it is kettle, like electric teapot. And so what I do is I heat up the water to boiling and pour it in there and kind of just let it sit for a little bit. That way it'll be warm enough for me to throw, and I'm not getting my hands like super cold with the it's kind of one of the tricks I use to be able to throw pottery in the winter. I live north and it gets really cold here, obviously, and so these are all kinds of little tricks and tips and things that I do to make it so that I can still throw even when it's this cold out. What I also do is I have my damp boxes over here, and so with those, I do bring them inside after I'm done throwing to make sure that the clay doesn't freeze over or anything. I don't leave them out here when the weather gets too cold. I don't know if you can see. I can see my breath. But yeah, it's pretty chilly in here. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're jumping right back into the vlogs, and I'm going to be doing some throwing. And then we have these cups. We have about 12 cups. That's about all I could do before my hands started getting a little too red and angry at me for throwing in the cold. Even with the hot water, I do find that I have a certain tolerance to throwing when it's really cold in my garage. So yeah, I got about 12 done. Not too bad for it being so cold today, like in the 30s and stuff. And yeah, I feel like I got a decent amount done before my fingers were like, nah, we're not doing it no more. So at my kiln today, not because I'm doing any firings, but because this is the only part of my garage that has light for me to be able to record. The lights, the two main lights I have in like over by my wheel have gone out, and I don't think it's the light bulbs. I think there's something else going on, so that'll be interesting to figure if I can figure out why they don't want to stay lit. But we're just gonna make it work. I feel like this video is very much just a lot of make it work moments. Whether it's trying to make a bunch of pottery in freezing cold temperatures so that I can restock shops, or whether it's because, you know, all the lights go out in my garage. Well, not all of them, obviously. I still have this one. Like, I have 2 of them. But I have a bunch of bump cups that I threw in the first part of this video. It's been about a week, so I'm going to be trimming them today. However, I'm probably not going to be able to get any footage of me trimming them today because of the lights not being on. And you guys are awesome, and I love you, but I am not going to open my garage door and freeze to death just to have enough light so you can see me trim my pottery. So, yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. I'm just giving you my update. I am going to be trimming. I have 11 bump cups to trim. Unfortunately, one of them had a little bit of an accident and did not survive, so it will not be being trimmed, but I will have 11 out of the 12 that I threw to trim today. And yeah, we're just gonna set them aside to dry, bisque fire them, get them all glazed and stuff. That'll probably be a little bit in the next vlog. And I know I didn't do very much with the writing updates and like how I was doing with that, where my word counts were, anything like that. So the next video is actually just gonna be pretty much writing. Like I said, there probably will be some you know, a pottery thrown in there, like me glazing and bisque firing and stuff like that, because I do have this light, right? So you will be able to see that stuff. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at today. That's kind of what I'm doing, and that's kind of, you know, real life as being a multi-passionate artist. So sometimes your equipment just decides to not work. Sometimes you don't have light. So yeah, anyways, I will see you all next week for the vlog, and I hope you enjoyed watching this one. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye.